It's 2 a.m. Emma is 6 years old. She's wheezing in her sleep. Her mother has tried everything: air purifiers, allergy medicine, doctor visits, but nothing fully explains why her daughter's asthma keeps getting worse. Here's the strange part: Emma has never seen a cockroach. Not once. Not in her room, not in her kitchen, not anywhere in her home. So what if the danger isn't the cockroach itself, but something it left behind? Across millions of homes, clean homes, tidy homes, homes with no visible pest problem, an invisible threat may be quietly affecting the air our children breathe. In the next 8 minutes, you'll discover what cockroaches actually leave behind, how it can affect a child's lungs, which health problems science has linked to it, how these particles spread through an entire house, and exactly how to protect your family. If protecting your family's health matters to you, subscribe now, because our next documentary may uncover another hidden danger most parents never see coming. Cockroaches are among the most resilient pests on Earth, found in nearly every climate and every type of home, from public housing to luxury apartments. For most people, the fear stops at the sighting. You see one, you reach for a spray, you move on. Case closed, or so it seems. But here's what most parents never learn. The real danger often isn't the live insect at all. It's everything the insect leaves behind: saliva, droppings, shed body parts from molting, and eventually, decomposed remains. Over time, this material dries out, crumbles, and breaks down into something almost impossible to see: microscopic particles, light enough to drift into the air your family breathes. Once airborne, these particles don't simply disappear. They settle into carpets, mattresses, and curtains, then stir back into the air every time someone walks across a room or a fan switches on. This is where the story takes its first turn, because what these particles can trigger inside a child's body is more serious than most parents realize. To understand why, we need one word: allergen. An allergen is a substance that can cause the immune system to overreact. Pollen, pet dander, dust mites, and proteins found in cockroach droppings and saliva all fall into this category for people sensitized to them. When a child breathes in these microscopic protein particles, their immune system may treat them as a threat, releasing chemicals like histamine that inflame the airways. For a child, this matters more than you might think. Lungs still developing, airways smaller, immune systems often more reactive than in adults. It takes a much smaller amount of allergen to trigger a noticeable reaction. Decades of research into indoor allergens and children's respiratory health have identified cockroach allergens as one of the major indoor asthma triggers, particularly in homes where cockroaches are present. Picture a child's airway like a narrow hallway. In an adult, that hallway is wide. A little swelling barely changes the airflow. In a child, the hallway starts narrower, so even mild inflammation can dramatically restrict it. That's the science. Now here's where it gets more serious. Large, well-documented asthma studies have found a consistent pattern. Children who are sensitized to cockroach allergens and also exposed to high levels of them at home tend to experience more severe asthma symptoms, more emergency visits, and more missed school days. The reported effects include more frequent asthma flare-ups, heightened allergy symptoms like sneezing and watery eyes, wheezing especially at night, chronic coughing, nasal congestion, and disrupted sleep from nighttime breathing difficulty. Not every child reacts the same way. Some are sensitized and show no symptoms. Others react without a diagnosed allergy. How exposure levels interact with individual sensitivity remains an active area of research. One more clarification: not every pest carries the same risk. Ants can contaminate food and surfaces, but the scientific evidence linking ants to asthma is far weaker than the evidence for cockroaches. Tonight's story is specifically about cockroach allergens. So if these allergens already sit inside millions of clean-looking homes, how exactly do they spread? That's where this gets unsettling. Picture this. It's midnight. The lights are off. But behind the refrigerator, beneath the sink, inside a wall void near a slow leak, cockroaches are active. They're drawn to three things: food, water, and warmth. A few crumbs on a counter, a damp sponge, a small leak nobody's fixed, a hairline crack behind the stove that nobody can even see. Night after night, they leave behind trace amounts of saliva and droppings. Over weeks and months, these traces accumulate. Then a door opens, a fan turns on, someone walks across the floor, and those dried, broken down particles lift into the air, drifting through hallways and settling on furniture, eventually reaching the bedroom where a child sleeps just a few rooms away. The unsettling part isn't the cockroach hiding in the dark. None of this requires the insect to be seen at all. An infestation can be small, hidden, or even already eliminated, yet the allergen particles it left behind can linger in dust and fabric for a long time, continuing to circulate. This is why some families struggle with unexplained allergy or asthma symptoms for months, never realizing the source was never visible to begin with. So what can a parent actually do? The good news is quite a lot. Reducing exposure starts with reducing what attracts cockroaches in the first place, and the most effective strategies are also the most practical. Store food in sealed, airtight containers. Crumbs and exposed food are the single biggest draw. Eliminate excess moisture. Fix leaky faucets and pipes. Wipe down sinks at night, and don't let water sit in trays or buckets. Cockroaches need water even more than food. Seal cracks and gaps around baseboards, behind appliances, and near pipes entering walls. These are the highways roaches use to travel undetected. Clean regularly, especially in kitchens, since allergen particles tend to concentrate in dust and crumbs. If allergy symptoms are already present, a HEPA filter vacuum can capture microscopic particles that an ordinary vacuum simply stirs back into the air. If you suspect an infestation, professional integrated pest management, combining baiting, sealing entry points, and removing food and water sources, has been shown in research to reduce indoor allergen levels more effectively than sprays alone. And finally, monitor. Check under sinks, behind appliances, and in cabinets periodically, even if you've never seen a cockroach. Early detection beats an established infestation. None of this requires panic. It requires awareness and a few consistent habits that protect the air your family breathes every day. Let's go back to Emma, the 6-year-old who never touched a cockroach, yet kept waking up wheezing at night. After her family fixed a small hidden leak under the kitchen sink, sealed a few cracks behind the stove, and brought in a HEPA vacuum, her symptoms began to ease. Not overnight, but steadily. Her story is a reminder of something easy to forget. The greatest dangers in our homes are often the ones we never see. A child doesn't need to touch a cockroach or even see one to be affected by what it leaves behind. If this documentary opens your eyes to something in your own home, that's exactly why we made it. Somewhere tonight, a parent is sitting beside their child's bed, listening to that wheeze, with no idea where to even start looking. Somewhere else, a nursery is being painted, a crib is being assembled, a family is counting down the weeks, never imagining this could already be waiting in their walls. You can't warn them yourself, but you can send them this. One share to one parent, one mom-to-be, one friend who's about to bring a baby home. That's all it takes for them to finally understand what's been happening and to do something about it before it gets worse. Subscribe and turn on notifications, because next time we may be uncovering another hidden danger sitting in plain sight inside your own walls. Tell us in the comments, did you know about this before today? And if you found this valuable, share it with another parent. It might be the reason someone else finally figures out what's been making their child sick.